Ever stop to think about that incredible engine running in your chest? It beats around 100,000 times a day, every single day, without ever taking a break. Today, we're going to go on an amazing journey inside that engine, following a single drop of blood as it travels right through the human heart. So, let's get started. To really get a feel for the kind of power we're talking about, just think about this number, 2,000. That's how many gallons of blood your heart pumps every day. Seriously, that's enough to fill a small swimming pool. This thing isn't just a pump, it's a high-performance biological marvel. Okay, so the first thing you've got to wrap your head around is that your heart isn't just one pump. It's actually two separate pumps sitting right next to each other, working in perfect sync to get two totally different jobs done. And here you can see those two pumps in action. The right side, which we see here in blue, has one mission and one mission only: get the blood over to the lungs. But the left side in red has a much bigger job. It has to pump that blood out to your entire body. Two pumps, two very different, very vital missions. So these two big jobs have names. We call them circuits. You've got the pulmonary circuit, which is that short loop from the heart to the lungs and back again. That's all about picking up oxygen. And then you have the systemic circuit, which is the massive body-wide loop that sends that fresh, oxygen-rich blood everywhere else, from your brain all the way down to your toes. All right, let's kick off this journey. We're gonna follow a drop of blood that's low on oxygen. That's the blue stuff. It's just come back from its trip around the body, and it's tired. It needs a refill. Its first stop is the right side of the heart. So blood enters right here, in the right atrium. It's flowing in from the body's two biggest veins, the Vena Cava. Basically, these are the main highways for blood that's already dropped off all its oxygen. You can think of this chamber as the heart's main receiving room. And an atrium is essentially just that, a collection chamber. It's not about power, not yet. Its job is just to gather up all the blood that's coming back, kind of like a foyer or an entryway before you get to the main event. So, once that right atrium is full, it gives a little squeeze, pushing the blood through this, the tricuspid valve. This valve is like a perfect one-way door. It snaps shut to make absolutely sure that blood can't flow backward. And that is the whole point of every valve in the heart. These little flaps are basically the traffic cops of your circulatory system. Their entire job is just to keep everything moving in the right direction. No U-turns allowed. After it passes through that valve, the blood fills up our first real power chamber, the right ventricle. You can probably see it's got thicker, more muscular walls than the atrium, and for a very good reason. This is where the first big pump is about to happen. So if the atrium is the entryway, the ventricle is the engine room. Its job isn't to receive blood. It's to contract with some serious force and launch that blood on the next leg of its journey. And with one powerful squeeze, the right ventricle sends that blood shooting up through another valve called the pulmonary valve and into the pulmonary artery. The destination? The lungs. That's where it's going to dump all its carbon dioxide and pick up a fresh supply of that life-giving oxygen. Okay, so let's do a super quick recap of that first half. Blood comes into the right atrium, goes past the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle, and then, bam, it gets pumped out to the lungs. It's simple, it's efficient, and it's absolutely crucial. So our blood just made a pit stop in the lungs. It's now bright red and totally packed with oxygen. It is ready for its main mission. So it heads back to the heart, only this time it's going to the super powerful left side. Fresh from the lungs, this oxygenated blood flows into the left atrium through the pulmonary veins. This is the second receiving room, and its job is to collect all of that precious oxygen-rich blood for the final push. And you know the drill by now, right? Just like on the other side, once the left atrium is full, it contracts. The blood then flows through a second one-way door, the mitral valve, and it drops down into the heart's ultimate power chamber. And here we are, the left ventricle. I mean, just look at how much thicker and more muscular its walls are compared to the right ventricle. And why is that? Well, remember, the right side only had to pump blood next door to the lungs. This chamber has to pump blood to your entire body. This is it, the grand finale. The blood is oxygenated, it's loaded into the most powerful chamber in the whole system, and it is about to be sent on its most important mission, delivering oxygen to every single cell you've got. So when that supramuscular left ventricle contracts, it forces blood through the aortic valve and into this massive vessel right here, the aorta. The aorta is the main interstate highway leaving the heart, branching off into smaller and smaller arteries to supply the whole body. And with that one final powerful squeeze, the cycle is complete. That oxygen-rich blood is now racing through your body, delivering the fuel you need for everything you do, everything you think, and everything you feel. So when you boil it all down, it's this incredibly elegant two-stage system, isn't it? You've got one pump to go get the oxygen, and then a second, way more powerful pump to deliver it. A perfectly designed engine for life. I mean, this remarkable machine does its job over 3 billion times in an average lifetime, and usually without a single problem. Which really leaves us with the final, pretty important question. Given how complex it is, what happens when just one of these elegant parts starts to fail?